Dan. If you're into Chinese BL, you know the name, or at least, you know her work. Addicted. Stay with me. Revenged Love. For years, she's been called the godmother of Chinese BL, the one who kept pushing when the industry kept pulling back. But in 2025, her name isn't just trending because of her latest hit, Revenged Love. It's also trending for all the wrong reasons. A secret social media account following an anti-actor hate group. Fans accusing her of slipping an actor's birthday into a prison scene and giving their hospital bed the unlucky number 44 as some kind of insult. Allegations of favoritism, story rewrites, and straight-up disrespect on set. And over all of it, a 36.999 million yuan, about 5.1 million USD, legal battle with Tencent, one of China's biggest tech and entertainment giants, and a dominant force in streaming, gaming, and media. This isn't just one scandal. It's a career unraveling in real time, with fandom drama, industry politics, and years-old lawsuits colliding at once. So today, we're pulling back the curtain on Dan, the creator, the controversy, and the chaos. Before the lawsuits, the fan wars, and the hashtag pile-ons, Dan was best known for one thing: creating the kind of BL stories that could blow up a fandom overnight. Born in 1989 as Zhu Wenjiao, she started out in 2009 writing serialized web novels on Liancheng, a Chinese literature platform. Her early works, Are You Addicted?, Counterattack, and Unstoppable, didn't just get popular. They became cult hits among danmei fans, especially for their unapologetic romantic and physical intimacy between male leads, at a time when most Chinese dramas kept queer relationships buried deep in subtext. That edge made her a standout, and controversial. In 2015, she moved from novelist to producer, adapting Counterattack, also known as Falling in Love with a Rival, into a low-budget online series shot in just 10 days. It was scrappy, awkward, and addictive. The following year came Addicted, adapted from her novel, Are You Addicted? It didn't just trend, it exploded. The pairing of Huang Jingyu, better known as Johnny Huang, and Xu Weizhou, better known as Timmy Xu, drew millions of viewers within days. The government banned it after only 15 episodes, pulling it from every major platform, but the ban only fueled its legend. By then, Dan had earned the nickname Godmother of Chinese BL, not because she was the only one making it, but because she kept delivering explicit, romantic male-male stories, even as the industry shifted toward heavily censored bromance dramas. Her company, Fengmang Culture, a joint venture with film giant Beijing Enlight Media, where Enlight held the controlling stake, became a BL content hub, producing titles like Addicted, 2016, and Advance Bravely, 2018, feeding the BL fanbase while also pushing into international streaming markets. But along with success came mounting pressure, from regulators, from investors, and from a rapidly growing fan culture that dissected every creative choice. And in the background, a massive business dispute with Tencent was brewing, one that would later blow up alongside her latest hit, Revenged Love. In mid-2025, Dan returned to the BL spotlight with Revenged Love, a new adaptation of her early story Falling in Love with a Rival. Filmed in China but released only overseas, it became an instant hit on platforms like Gaga, Olala, and Viki, racking up over 1 million views in its first week and climbing Viki's drama charts. On Chinese social media, even though the show itself couldn't be streamed domestically, hashtags around Revenged Love pulled in millions of views on Douyin and Xiaohongshu. The buzz wasn't just about the story, it was about Dan herself. Fans praised her for sticking to real BL instead of toning it down into safe bromance, and for keeping intimate scenes intact in the overseas cut. But renewed fame cut both ways. The same wave of attention brought fresh scrutiny. Critics resurfaced old complaints about her on-set behavior, alleged favoritism, and controversial rewrites. And behind the scenes, an unresolved legal fight with one of China's biggest entertainment giants was quietly moving back into action, one that would explode into headlines by July. In July 2025, Chinese business news broke a story that turned BL fandom chatter into mainstream headlines. Dan, real name Zhu Wenjiao, and her company, Fandom Culture, had just been hit with a restored enforcement order to pay 36.999 million yuan to Tencent. That's about 5.1 million US dollars. If you're not familiar, Tencent isn't just another media company. It's one of China's biggest tech and entertainment giants, owning everything from the social media platform WeChat to Tencent Video and its international arm WeTV to China Literature, which holds a majority stake in Xinjiang Literature City, the country's largest danmei publishing hub. In other words, if you work in Chinese entertainment, Tencent is almost impossible to avoid. This legal battle traces back to 2016, when Tencent paid 25 million yuan, about 3.45 million USD, for the exclusive streaming rights to Advance Bravely, the BL drama adapted from Chai Ji-dan's novel, Unstoppable. When the drama failed to pass government review, the two sides later signed a new agreement, lowering the licensing fee to 12.5 million yuan, about 1.73 million US dollars, and making clear that if the show still couldn't air, Fandom would refund the payment in full. Tencent paid in full, but the series never made it to broadcast. By 2017, Tencent wanted its money back. Both sides signed a supplemental deal. Fandom Culture would return the full 12.5 million yuan by May 30, 2018, plus interest. But that deadline came and went without payment. For the next 3 years, the dispute stayed mostly quiet, until 2021, when Tencent finally took the matter to court. In 2021, a court ruled against Chai Ji-dan's company, ordering repayment plus penalties. When she still didn't pay, the court in 2022 restricted her personal spending, a standard credit blacklist move in China that bars high-end expenses like luxury hotels, business-class flights, private school tuition, and new property purchases. Now, in 2025, the case has roared back with a much bigger number, 36.999 million yuan. That figure includes the original debt, interest, and mounting penalties. And with Tencent as the creditor, it's a fight she can't easily walk away from. To understand why Chai Ji-dan's name still matters, and why her legal fight is such a big deal, you have to look at how Chinese BL evolved. Back in the 1.0 era of the mid-2010s, the BL scene was still in its Wild West phase. Shows like Falling in Love with a Rival were low-budget but openly romantic adaptations of danmei novels, filmed in mainland China and released domestically. In 2016, Chai Ji-dan's Addicted turned its leads Johnny Huang and Timmy Xu into overnight stars, until it was abruptly pulled mid-broadcast under a sudden censorship crackdown. That moment marked the end of the Anything Goes era. The 2.0 era saw the rise of the bromance rebrand, stripping explicit romance but keeping the chemistry to survive censorship. Hits like Guardian, 2018, The Untamed, 2019, and Word of Honor, 2021, proved you could make huge profits without ever saying the characters were in love. By 2022, even that loophole had effectively closed when China's regulators stopped approving new BL-style productions. But in 2023, Chai Ji-dan's Stay With Me slipped through as one of the last big bromance dramas, filmed entirely in China, carefully toned down to pass review, yet denied a broad domestic license. Most viewers watched it through overseas platforms like Viki or Youku International. This triggered the 3.0 era, filmed in China and/or co-produced with overseas partners, often registered under foreign companies to allow overseas-only releases. By premiering on international platforms like Viki, YouTube, and Gaga Olala, producers bypass domestic censorship because Chinese regulators have no jurisdiction over foreign distribution. Chai Ji-dan's Revenged Love is a prime example, shot with a Chinese cast in Mandarin, but released exclusively overseas. Fans in China still follow along via VPNs, creating a strange outside-in hype cycle where domestic buzz depends on international release. In that landscape, a creator with Chai Ji-dan's IP library and her track record for launching stars is still a valuable player, which makes her public feud with Tencent and the swirl of new allegations all the more explosive. For years, Chai Ji-dan's fanbase was split between devoted supporters and skeptics who accused her of recycling tropes and fetishizing her characters. But in 2025, Revenged Love's success brought her name back into the spotlight. And not just for the show itself. First came the hospital scene scandal in episode 9. In one scene, Ziyu's character Wu Suowei is seen in a hospital bed marked 44. A number considered unlucky in Chinese culture because it sounds like death in Mandarin. To some, it felt like a subtle jab. To others, it was just an unfortunate prop choice. Then came the prison scene in episodes 22 and 23. Qicheng's prison number, 0706, exactly matched actor Ziyu's real-life birthday, July 6th, down to the digits. Viewers argued this wasn't random, but a deliberate, petty insertion made after casting. Fans noted that in Chinese productions, prop numbers are usually randomized by the art department, unless specifically instructed otherwise, which is why many believed it was intentional. After that came the side account uproar, in a different way, again tied to Ziyu. Chinese netizens alleged that Chaiji Dan was secretly running or following a Weibo account tied to anti-Ziyu spaces. The rumor took off after one user claimed the side account's login IP location once matched the one used by Chaiji Dan's verified account during a past live stream. Suspicion grew after fans noticed the account's follows and likes aligned with known anti-Ziyu hubs, and that it only followed his official super topic after people began digging. These remain allegations, but they added to a growing sense of distrust. On Weibo, grievances split by actor. For Ziyu, fans accused Chaiji Dan of weakening his character Wu Suowei, cutting key scenes, adding humiliating plot points, using unfair lighting and camera work that left him in shadow, and shifting more screen time to others. For Tian Shuning, they pointed out she had pursued him for 3 separate projects, first for Stay With Me, then for an unproduced project known in fandom as Project Y, and finally for Revenged Love, the one he ultimately agreed to star in. To fans, this persistence made her later treatment of him feel like a deeper betrayal. By July 2025, fans were openly demanding that the production delete the controversial numbers, restore cutscenes, and issue a public apology. Western fans piled on via X, accusing Chaiji Dan of prioritizing her fantasy role of Qicheng over supporting Tian as an actor, especially during periods of intense online attacks. One post claimed she threw him under the bus when things got difficult. But the backlash hit a new peak on August 17th, when Chaiji Dan herself posted, and then quickly deleted, screenshots from her chat history. The images revealed that several NC or intimate scenes had been filmed but later cut. In the exchange, she pushed back that certain lines, including, "Qicheng and I will be together forever," should not be removed, yet they still were. She also implied the director wanted to keep a director's cut. Instead of clearing her name, deleting the screenshots only made her look evasive. Many fans took it further, seeing the deletions as damage control rather than proof of innocence. Fans now suspected Zhejiang Huache Film and TV, the powerful state-backed company holding the distribution rights through its C-drama rights platform, was behind the deletions. On Weibo, the hashtag Huache deletions trended, fueling outrage. Many argued Huache, not Chaiji Dan, had ultimate control. But others suspected collusion, that she and Huache were working together to cut, withhold, or even profit from unreleased content. International fans joined the speculation on Reddit, suggesting she was using BTS clips to pressure Huase into releasing a director's cut, or to shift blame for the NC scene removals. With rumors swirling about NC footage being leaked or sold under the table, and her highly public $5.1 million legal battle with Tencent in the background, critics were ready to believe the worst. By late August 2025, Chaiji Dan wasn't just a trending name, it was a lightning rod. Every old controversy, from past creative choices to long-settled disputes, was dredged up again, now colliding with her financial crisis and legal troubles in one giant storm. Chaiji Dan's legal and fandom troubles aren't happening in a vacuum. They're unfolding at a time when Chinese BL is under heavier pressure than ever. Since 2022, new BL-style dramas have been effectively frozen from domestic release, pushing creators toward the 3.0 survival model. Filming in China but co-producing with overseas partners, and releasing only on international platforms. That shift has changed the power balance. Platforms like Viki, Gaga Lala, and YouTube have become key channels for Chinese BL's global audience, while Chinese fans rely on VPNs to keep up. Overseas viewers drive much of the conversation, but Chinese fandom still sets the tone. And online storms in Beijing can spill into trending topics in Bangkok or Los Angeles within hours. For over a decade, Chai Ji-dan has survived in an industry that changes its rules without warning. She's navigated the BL Wild West, the bromance rebrand, and the overseas pivot, all while building one of the most recognizable IP libraries in Chinese queer fiction. But 2025 is different. The problems aren't just censorship or shifting audience tastes, they're legal, reputational, and deeply personal. Her legal fight with Tencent isn't going away, and neither are the fandom rifts opened by revenged love. Her overseas audience remains her strongest asset, but those same spaces are global, vocal, and quick to amplify controversy, making reputational recovery harder than ever. In an era where Chinese BL creators are already walking a razor's edge, Chai Ji-dan's public image is now tied as much to lawsuits and scandal as to the stories that once made her a BL godmother. Whether she can rebuild that image, or whether this marks the end of her hold on the genre, will depend on what she does next, and how much of her audience is willing to follow her there. I hope this pause in the chaos makes you think. So, is Chai Ji-dan's reign over, or is there still another chapter left to write? Until next time, this is GPkP.